Welcome, one and all, to Scotch and Smoke Rings. Got a good show for you today. We're going to be a little shorter than usual, as I have plans in the morning, but we'll still get through the Q&A at the beginning, and maybe even about an hour or so of gameplay today. That's the plan. But it's good to see you all this Thursday night. What's on your mind? I'm here to answer your questions or just be a sounding board to bounce your thoughts from. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Kick, and Twitch. Good to see Rusty Nails, Dirt G, I'm Still G Snap on Twitch. And of course, all of the regulars, members, and Patreon supporters on YouTube. Drinkin' Buddy, the Dumb Potato, sorry. I almost called you the Dump Potato. Ned Carlsberg, Sean Baca, Vinyl Pro, Supercalifragilistic Explia. I don't know. So, thank you, everybody. And Jersey and geez, please, good to see each and every one of you today. So, I have one new prop. Well, kind of one new prop that I'd like to show you. These came up on the Bethesda store a couple weeks ago, and they just arrived. I was really excited about them because I needed some new Scotch glasses. These are New Vegas themed Scotch glasses, and it has all of the casinos of New Vegas on the side. The Ultralux, Vault 21, Gamora, the Tops, the Lucky 38, of course. And it says Fabulous New Vegas right there on the side. I think they're one of my new favorite things, and I got 3 of them so that I'll always have one to drink from. But as they were wrapped up, I won't be drinking from them today. Today I'm drinking from my regular Scotch glasses. Cheers, everybody. And, of course, my rum and Coke. Vince M. says, good evening, Ox. Hope you and the family are doing well. Just started a new job on Monday working customer service in the healthcare industry. Cheers. Well, cheers to you, Vince M. Congratulations. I hope that it fulfills exactly what you're looking for. Snowstorms Antiques says, hey, Oxhorn, are you excited about Fallout Season 3? You know it. I'm really excited about Fallout Season 3. Can't wait to see what happens in Colorado. Officer Huggles says, hey, Ox, how are you tonight? Did you happen to see the leaked picture from the set with Joshua Graham graffiti? No, I've been out of the news cycle all week this week due to kids' birthday parties and kids' doctor appointments, getting everybody ready for the school season. So maybe I'll be able to find them really quickly. Okay, well, a really quick scour, and I haven't seen anything yet, but I'll have to look it up after the broadcast to see what that's all about. Of course, it would be awesome to see Joshua Graham in Fallout Season 3, or at least the effects of Joshua Graham, because he'll be pretty old by the events of Season 3 of the Fallout show, so maybe instead of seeing the man himself, we see his followers. Derek May says, good evening, Ox. I'm sure you about Obsidian out because I'm sure the questions came pouring. I've missed some moved into a new home, but if the rumors are true and they do make the new Fallout, do you want a West Coast or East Coast story? Thanks, Ox. Well, if Obsidian is making it, I think they would be best suited to make a West Coast story. My biggest concern is whether or not they're going to be able to make a story that doesn't conflict with the show, or rather, that the show isn't going to conflict with whatever story they create. So, the show still has a couple years left in it, and that's going to complicate things, especially if they continue to make stories on the West Coast. If it continues to move eastwards towards the interior and then eventually the East Coast, that's fine. But if they come back to the West Coast, that may prove a little bit tricky. But yeah, I'd love to see Obsidian pick up where the show leaves off and further flesh out the lore and world building on the West Coast. Wes Case says, "Can you congratulate Megan Morris on getting married to me, please?" I would appreciate it. Thank you. Absolutely, Wes Case. Congratulations, Megan Morris, on getting married to none other than the Wes Case. All congratulations are due to the happy couple. Thanks very much, Wes, and congratulations again, Megan. Jersey says, it's 8:35 a.m. and I almost slept for 2 hours or so. Kind of want to get up and make some coffee. I know how you feel. I've been there. Coffee, right when you wake up, it just changes things. It changes things in a good way. It's a very good thing. Jonah on Facebook says, "Love your work, sir." Thank you so much, Jonah. Cornelius Noble on Facebook says, "Hey, Ox." Hey there, Cornelius. Ned Carlsberg says, "Do you have any Fallout show / game hot takes?" I mean, not that I haven't already expressed. I mean, I haven't been keeping anything from you. I haven't been sitting on a nugget of a hot take that I haven't already shared. So, no, I don't, I really don't think I have anything too controversial. But the show is canonical. The games are canonical. This from the developers of both the games and the show. So we kind of have to mesh both of those worlds together and make them make sense. Thankfully, for the most part, they do. Every now and then there's something that kind of gets in the way. But I've expressed my thoughts on those ad nauseum in my videos on the show and what it does right and what it does wrong. And of course, all of the games. Elvis Zebra says, "Whatever new Fallout game will be, it's not going to contradict the TV show because it was said they will work on the new game with Bethesda Games Studio, so that's probably going to keep it all in line." Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think despite what YouTubers say and despite the common consensus from the fan base, I do think Bethesda wants the lore of all of the Fallout games and shows to be canonical. I do believe that they are trying to build a cohesive world. And I think Obsidian does as well. I think Obsidian respects what Bethesda has done and what the show runners have done as well. So I think that they're going to do their best to try and make it all work. So I think we have that to look forward to. Now, how well they'll succeed is really anyone's guess. Will they be as legendary as they were, 15 years ago or so when they made Fallout New Vegas? We can hope so. Adam on Twitch says, "What type of cigars are you smoking today?" Today I am smoking a Voodoo Habano. It's a larger than average cigar, but still Churchill in length, and it's become my go-to brand as of late. Shadow Legion Force says, "What happened to not sitting on one game, Ox?" My computer happened. I'm suffering from CPU issues with my computer at the moment, and because of that, I have really bad luck playing anything that runs on Unreal Engine and Unity. So you can see that being a real big problem. I purchased and installed 5 different games last week, and they all ended up crashing, shortly after playing them. So finding a stable game, a game that I can play stably, is just really tricky. I have more luck with Unity games than I do with Unreal Engine games, but even then, they can be really unstable. And it's not their fault. It's the fault of my CPU. And I just need to resolve the issue, and I have been unable to as of yet. Really, I just have to replace the CPU, and then I'm going to be able to access a greater library of games. But for the moment, I can play the games that I've currently got installed that have worked for me in the past. And so we're going to continue with Mouse PI for a while, and when we finish that, maybe pick up one of the other games that we never completed, like Replaced, for example. But that's where I'm at right now with my computer issues. Ghost Kid says, "Oh, what a treat. I loved watching your VODs of this while doing art. I'm excited to be caught up and get to see this live." Thanks, Ghost Kid. It's good to have you live today, and I'm grateful that you've been watching all of my replays of this show. Tam Greenbee says, "I'm playing Fallout 4 Ox." Awesome. Congratulations. There are worse things you could be playing. Jonah Kopicki on Facebook says, "Ox, would you ever do a meet and greet with your fans? And do you think Obsidian could make a Fallout 1 remake?" Years ago, I used to do the convention run all the time. I would do BlizzCon, then Comic-Con, then DragonCon, then Emerald City Comic-Con, and I would meet, all of the fans and the viewers at that time. And that was really rewarding, and I enjoyed that thoroughly. But now that I have kids, and now that I'm a single dad, there's just a lot going on that I'm trying to juggle right now. So finding time to, go on vacation, let alone go to a convention and, meet people, it's just hard. I don't expect it to be that way forever. I think that there will probably be a time in the future when I'll be able to get away from the computer and go to, a Fallout get-together, whether it's in Good Springs or, at QuakeCon or something like that. At the moment, I kind of got to keep things close to home, but eventually I do plan to get out a little bit more. As for the Fallout 1 remake, certainly possible. I don't think it's high on their to-do list. Because the game already exists. And if they were to recreate it, pixel for pixel, not pixel for pixel, but if they were to recreate it word for word in, a Bethesda engine, it would be a really kind of short game, right? Because, there's not much to Fallout 1 compared to the more elaborate Bethesda Fallouts and Obsidian's Fallout New Vegas. That's not to say there's anything bad with it. Fallout 1 was a trendsetter. It established the world, but it was published in 1997, and RPGs at the time were less bulky, so to speak. So if they were to completely remake it and publish it without adding new content to it, I think they'd probably make some people feel disappointed, even though it's the same game. And if they were to add anything to it, I think they'd probably make other people disappointed for, not being true to the original. So I think it would probably just be safer for them to make a new game, and I think most of them are less interested, and I certainly would be if I was a storyteller, to retell a story that's already been told as opposed to making a brand new story. So could they? Sure. Will they? Probably not. I think they'll probably make a new game. G's Police says, "Got a new laptop, been playing all my games." Awesome, my friend. I'm glad it's been working well for you. John M says, "I would love to see you at a con someday." I'd love to see you at a con someday too. Perhaps that'll be in the future at some point. Elvis Bruh says, "Xbox pushing for Fallout because of the TV show, but wants The Elder Scrolls 6 too. Bethesda Game Studio is doing The Elder Scrolls. Obsidian has been outsourced to do Fallout. Now, when news about Obsidian, new Fallout game, is leaked, the news said Obsidian will work with Bethesda Games Studio." Well, I mean, I don't know if there has been any new updates to the leaked news, but I was there when it was leaked by Jason, and I covered everything. And what he said was not that. Like, he didn't say that Obsidian would be working with Bethesda Game Studio on Fallout. It simply said that Obsidian would be working on the new Fallout. That's what it said. Now, is there anything new? Maybe. I haven't heard it, if that's the case. Would it be bad if Obsidian was to be working with Bethesda on the new Fallout? Like, if the two of them were working on it together? No, that wouldn't be bad. That'd be fine. I wouldn't be upset by that. And remember, with Fallout New Vegas, Bethesda was there for it, right? They didn't work on it hands-on, but they were there for the approval. They approved everything that went into it. They, were there for ideas as well. In fact, there were storylines that Obsidian abandoned at the time because Bethesda said, no, we might be tackling that in the future. The She, for example. Obsidian at the time wanted to have a canonical ending to the She from Fallout 2, and Bethesda said, no, we might do a story with the She at some point, so please don't give them a canonical ending. And they respected that. So, they collaborated a little bit in New Vegas. If they were to collaborate on the new Fallout as well, fine. I'm fine with that. Derek Main says, Ox, when you go back and watch your Fallout 1 and 2 videos, was it hard to play and get into because of the newer gameplay with modern Fallout games? No, not at all. I mean, you have to remember, I'm 44 years old. So I was there when all of the isometric RPG games were first released. I played Ultima Online a lot, right? When it was first released. So going into Fallout 1 and 2, even after having played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4, it wasn't that alien for me. I quickly got a hold of how the world was set up and how the gameplay was supposed to work. Trying to get it to work on modern machines was tricky, but once you got it to work, the game itself, it wasn't that bad. It didn't hold your hand like modern games do. Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 had a lot of stuff hidden that they just didn't tell you, either in the strategy guide or in the game itself. It's the sort of thing that you had to sort of discover on your own by accident, by playing it and trying new things. And that's kind of what, part of the joy of playing those older RPG games. So it wasn't hard to play or get into. There were some barriers to entry, but even today in 2026, there are barriers to entry, most of which are technological, to playing Fallout 3, which, remember, was published in 2008. So it's a pretty old game. It's closer in timeline to the publication of Fallout 1 in 1997 than to today. That's how old Fallout 3 is. Elvis Bra says, yes, he said that. The guy from Bloomberg, his original article says that Obsidian will work with Bethesda Game Studio. Oh, okay. Maybe I misread that. I thought I read the Bloomberg article, but I must have missed that. Okay, cool. Thank you, Elvis Bra. And yeah, if they're working together on it, that doesn't bother me. That's cool. Woven Blooded on Twitch says, I just wanted to say that I used to watch your lore videos all the time. It was something to look forward to when I was in a dark place. I'm happy to see you're still around. Thank you, Woven Blooded. I'm still around and I'm not going anywhere. And I'm glad that you enjoyed my videos then and that you're still here today enjoying what I'm doing today. Jess Vicious says, hi Ox, how's your night so far? I'm missing the snow. I still have that active on my Fallout 4 and Farm Sim 25. Also, having some Irish whiskey and Coke. My night so far is really good. It's been a busy day. I had a lot of appointments to do today, so I didn't get a lot of work done on my lore video today, which is a bit of a bummer because I feel like I'm behind on it. But I got all the audio recorded and edited. I have all of the footage captured and rendered. So I'm ready to piece this video together. It's just finding the time. Summer is always difficult for me because the kids are out of school. And summer is the time where you not only make the kids go to summer camp and they want to do play dates with their friends and sleepovers with their friends and other summer activities, but it's the time where you got to get all of their doctor's appointments in before school starts as well. So finding an opportunity to kind of get work done during the summer is tricky. It's tricky, but I'm trying. And I've got a video that I'm working on that should come out. If not next week, I'm hoping by the end of July. That's it. My goal is that it doesn't go into August. That's my goal. Brandon Beltfed says, a bit late, huh, Ox? Hey, what does a witch, a heretic, and a piece of coal have in common? The first two burn clean. A witch and a heretic, they burn clean, whereas coal is dirty fuel, so wow. Dark joke. Thank you very much. Cheers, sir. Play on, says Brandon Beltfed. Cheers, my friend. Good to have you on the program today. Elvis Bruss says, developed and led by Obsidian, but overseen by Bethesda, meaning lore framework all set by Bethesda, same as New Vegas was made. Same as New Vegas was made, probably, but all set by Bethesda, probably not. So I think you're giving the Obsidian folks less freedom than Bethesda. I think Bethesda is probably going to give Obsidian a lot of freedom to write a story, just like they did with Fallout New Vegas. Bethesda didn't come to Obsidian and say, okay, here's the story we want you to tell. Now just get the words done, do all of the logistics, and make a game. That's not what they did for Fallout New Vegas. They loaned the IP to Obsidian for a brief period of time and said, you've got 2 years, make a new game, and, we'll be the rubber stamp on the end results. And Obsidian came up with plot lines, Obsidian came up with characters, Obsidian developed the lore for Fallout New Vegas, and Bethesda approved some things here, disallowed some things there. They were the final rubber stamp, but a lot of the creative process came from Obsidian. That was their brainchild. And I think the same, I could be wrong, I'm not them, but my gut is that the same is probably going to be true for this new Fallout game that Obsidian is going to be developing. They're not just crunching the numbers and, coding the pixels, they're going to be developing the world and creating new characters and doing a lot of the creative storytelling as well. And I think Bethesda will have a hand in it, but I think Obsidian is probably going to be the driving force of that creation. Dippin' Nuggets with a really long comment. I'm just going to start reading this and hopefully it doesn't get bad later on. So I'm going to try it. 3 cowboys are lost in the desert and haven't eaten in days when they came across a tree completely covered in bacon. The first cowboy runs towards the tree and yells, "We're saved! It's a bacon tree!" only to be shot just before he gets to the tree. The second cowboy starts to sneak towards it, but the third stops him saying, "That's not a bacon tree. It's a ham bush." You impressed me, sir. I'm so glad that didn't get dirty later on. I'm so glad that it was as good as it was. I felt like we earned it. We put a lot of time into that joke, and then it paid off. Ham bush? I loved it. I mean, that was almost... but not quite. We still got a good... out of it. It was good. It was good. I liked it. Cheers. Ham bush. I don't know why that tickled me so much. Hallfax on Twitch says, "Yo, I haven't watched a vid in a long time, but you literally raised me, dude." Did I? Oh. "I only know as much as I do about Fallout because of you. You were like a second dad / older brother. Cheer one, cheer one." Hallfax, it's extremely sweet and kind of you to say that. Thank you so much. You know what? When I'm in my office and I'm working on my videos, I don't often think about the impact they're going to have on people. What listening to my voice hours and hours a day can, have an effect on people. So it's really nice to have some people come by and share their thoughts with how they enjoy my content. So thank you very much. That's very sweet. Derek Mays says, I'm 39 Ox, so I get the old gamer part, lol. I know people love New Vegas, and I do too. But I remember New Vegas being unplayable on console PS3. Do you feel that New Vegas was a late bloomer with love? Because I remember the hate. It was. I wasn't there when it was launched. I was focusing on my marketing career at the time. But when I got into New Vegas, I researched a lot of the history of its publication, and it wasn't like an instant hit. It wasn't. It was the lowest rated Fallout game at the time of its publication. Since then, there has been Fallout 76, so it no longer owns that title. But at the time, when it came to professional critic reviews, it was rated lower than Fallout 3. It's become a big favorite because so many players were able to get past the pretty stiff barriers to entry that Fallout New Vegas had and throw themselves at the lore. It's the kind of game where you have to play it and replay it, in my opinion, to truly appreciate it. Because once you do a Legion playthrough, and an NCR playthrough, and a House playthrough, and a New Vegas playthrough, an independent New Vegas playthrough, you see how well the story is told and how intertwined the story threads are. I remember the first time I played it. On my very first New Vegas character, I did I think it was the independent ending, and I wasn't impressed. I felt like the open world was just too flat and open, and it was less refined. I thought a lot of the locations weren't as densely populated with environmental storytelling compared to Fallout 3. So, that was the vibe I came away from it with after having played it for the first time. But it was after multiple playthroughs where I actually paid attention to the story and began to understand it better that I realized the genius that was at work. Mr. CP9345 says, is 3 Fallout still making 76, Fallout 4, and upcoming Fallout 5? Huh? Maybe? There's going to be an upcoming Fallout. We just don't know if it's going to be Fallout 5. It's just going to be we don't know. I mean, if I were to guess, it's probably not a Fallout 5 with Obsidian driving it. I think they're probably going to do a Fallout New Vegas 2 or a Fallout Nevada or something like that. Instead of a Fallout 5. I think Bethesda would probably hold on to the Fallout 5 moniker for when they do Fallout New York, if they ever do Fallout New York. Team GB on Twitch says, my favorite vids of yours is the Yangtze and the Fat Man. Had a blast making those vids. Thanks, my friend. Vedova on Twitch says, hey from the homepage. Hey there, Vedova. Good to see you on the program today. Mitchell says, do you smoke weed? I don't. I don't really have anything against it. It's just not a pastime of mine. I'm satisfied with cigars, really. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't chew tobacco or anything like that. Cigars is pretty much it for me. And I just can't imagine a need being filled that weed would fill that cigars doesn't already fill for me. Like, I like cigars because it's something to do while I'm working. Something I can hold, something I can chew on. It kind of occupies that part of me. Right? Like if I'm trying to work and I don't have something that I'm fidgeting with, like a cigar, I feel restless. That's probably bad. That's probably not a good thing. But that's why I like smoking cigars, because it's kind of something to do that helps me focus on my work. And so I don't really need weed for that. Team Greeby on Twitch says, I'm copying your style in Fallout 4 as the cigarette in mouth mod allows me to make wearable cigars. Yeah, isn't that a cool mod? We discovered that years ago and finally allowed me to have my Minuteman General running around with a cigar in her mouth, which I thought was so much fun, and I'm glad that the mod is still working. So, awesome. Yoiji says, hey Ox, you said you painted 40K before. Did you have a favorite faction? No, I didn't, and it's because I never really understood 40K or got into it. But you have to understand, before I painted 40K figures, I was a big model builder as a kid. I would go to my local hobby shop and I would get model kits of battleships or tanks or airplanes or, Star Trek spaceships and stuff like that. And I enjoyed the process of gluing the pieces together and then figuring out how to paint them and sanding them smooth and putting on the decals. Like, that's what I did as a hobby as a kid. The only reason I got into 40K painting is because a friend of mine at the time had a big set of these like die-cast figurines that he was giving away. He just didn't want them anymore. And he said, hey, do you want them to paint them? I'm like, yeah, I love painting. So that's what I did. They were Empire, I think they were. Again, I don't know anything about the factions in 40K, so I'm not a big lore nerd on 40K that way. But I had a little army of, I think they were Empire characters, and yeah, I put a base back black coat on them and had a good time. I think I painted them a maroon red color. Yeah, I enjoyed the painting process of that. Ned Carlsberg says, which Fallout faction do you find evil or bad, but you agree with some of the points they make? Ooh, that's a great question. I think that some of the bad guys in the Fallout universe are just so evil that they've got no redeeming qualities. The Legion, for example, there's just no redeeming quality. They don't make any good points. The Enclave, no, they don't make any good points. The Institute is evil. Don't get me wrong, they are evil. But they do make some good points, particularly about how the surface is an inhospitable wasteland and the lack of, intelligence, the lack of book learning, the lack of order that is prone in the wasteland is not conducive to creating a thriving society. I mean, sure, that's all true, but the alternative, having a scientific overlord society rule over everyone and making life and death decisions about strangers, it's not a good alternative. Sure, they make some good points. They're pointing out some clear and obvious flaws with wasteland living, but their solution isn't a good one. And additionally, I think that Maxim's Brotherhood of Steel makes some good points as well. When you read the terminal entries and you talk to, Arthur about the horrors of technology and the awful things that technology has done in the wrong hands. I mean, sure, all of that is true, right? There was a nuclear apocalypse because civilization-ending technology was misused because it was in the wrong hands. Okay, but the logical step they take to make sure that it's in their hands, because they'll never abuse it, and that means that since they're the ones who are going to safeguard technology, that everyone else in the world, even if they're not part of the Brotherhood, should serve them, and if they don't, they die. That's not a good solution either, right? So they make some good points, but the way they resolve the situation is not good. So yeah, there are some factions who make some good points, but it doesn't absolve their actions. Derek May says, last one, Ox, is there any location you want to get more lore on? I didn't care for Tactics, even though some of it is canon, but Eddie and Lonesome Road met some people in Chicago. I'd like to see Fallout Chicago. Yeah, and you touched on a great point that I think the show is trying to elaborate on, and that's what the extent of the Enclave's presence is in America, and to what extent those presences communicate with each other, right? Because, yeah, we know that there's an Enclave facility in Chicago, but The White Spring Bunker never talked much about it. Raven Rock barely talked much about it at all. There's no news about it in Navarro when we go to Navarro in Fallout 2, and certainly none on the oil rig either. So if there was an Enclave facility in Chicago so that Whitley knew about it, to what extent did that facility communicate with the other Enclave hubs? I'd love to have that, ironed out. Are there more Enclave places besides the one in Chicago? That would be great to know too. The Easy Life says, hey Oxhorn and all in chat, I once heard Mortal Kombat was originally based on a religious song from Finland. It was a Finnish hymn. I mean, it's good. That's a good one. Like, I'm groaning, but I'm also smiling. You made me groan smile, which is, it takes some effort. So, a Finnish hymn. That's good. Thank you, The Easy Life. Desiree Leary says, hey, Ox, hope you're doing well. Love the content. What faction would you like to see in in Season 3 of the Fallout show? As we have seen some of the Enclave, the Brotherhood of Steel, the NCR, etc. I mean, it'd be cool to see the followers of the Apocalypse show up. They're a minor faction, but, they were important, I think, in the lore, the overarching, world building of Fallout. So it'd be great to have them show up in some regard. But aside from that, really, I'm totally cool with not seeing any other known faction in the Fallout show. I want to see new stuff. I want to see new factions, new people, new characters. That's what I want to see. Triad X says, good evening, Sir Oxhorn. Good evening, Triad X. Tony J says, I watched a video on the catastrophically low water level in the Colorado River. There will barely be a Lake Mead to be in New Vegas. Wildlife has returned to those formerly flooded river canyons. Yeah, I mean, it was a couple years ago, but I watched a video on it too, which is saying something, because even a couple of years ago, the levels in Lake Mead were historically low. Like, they were discovering murders from the 1920s and 30s of mobsters throwing bodies in barrels and then chucking them into Lake Mead, which were now being uncovered due to the low levels of Lake Mead. It was crazy, and it hasn't gotten any better since then. I don't think, at least not that much better. Which, raises an interesting question. In the event of a worldwide nuclear apocalypse and then 200 years, would there have been enough water to fill Lake Mead? I don't know. In the Fallout universe? Food for thought. Pegasus on Twitch says, do you think there will be a Fallout 5 soon? No. If there is going to be a new Fallout game, I don't think it's going to be soon. I think it's going to be years. At least 2. If I was a betting man, I'd say at least 2 years before we get a new Fallout. Deuteronomus says, are you afraid they'll kill another faction? Like the Kings? Lol? Yeah, the part of that, right? I mean, I'm hesitant to have the Fallout showrunners deal with any existing factions, because they'll probably just kill them, as they've done with every faction, practically, or harm them in some horrible way. But that's not my driving motivation. My driving motivation is I like new storytelling, right? So I want to see new factions. Deviler's Human says, hi Ox, rewatching your series on Lonesome Road, and gotta say, I love the song and how cinematic you made the fight with the marked men at the end. Thanks, Devilers. I felt like there was so much poetry in Fallout New Vegas, and in particular the way that they tied all of their DLCs together. I felt like the two couriers meeting was just the seminal moment that we had been working up to for so long that it deserved something. And so when I did my series, I wanted to make it dramatic. I wanted to make it musical. I wanted there to be a fulfilling payoff for all of that time that we invested in 4 DLCs and the primary plot of the game. And it was a great moment facing Ulysses in that final fight, knowing that it was really the last one. And man, I had a lot of fun putting that together. Lunchbox says, have you ever tried the Fallout TTRPG from Modifius? If so, yay or nay? With your knowledge of the lore, I would bet you'd make a great GM. I didn't. I haven't tried it, but I'm intrigued by it. Because every now and then when I do research, bits and pieces of lore from the RPG game will pop up. And they add a new layer. They add a new flavor. So about a month ago, I actually purchased 2 books from the RPG just so that I could read up on the lore that they established in those campaigns, in those stories, because there are a couple of lore videos that I'm working on where I intend to include some lore from the RPG games. There was a video I was working on earlier this month, and I had gotten to the point just before I sat down to record my audio. Like, I had organized a lot of the footage that I already had recorded, and I had organized my thought process, and I was about to record it when another YouTuber published a video on the exact same topic. And I was like, and I knew that if I went ahead and finished that video and then published it a week later or something, that people would just be like, you copied so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. Because that's happened to me. Years ago, I did a video on the Mysterious Stranger. And I got lucky because I published it first. A couple hours after I published my video on the Mysterious Stranger, another Fallout YouTuber published his own video on the lore of the Mysterious Stranger. And a lot of my viewers went over to his video and started going, hey, you're copying Oxhorn and all of that. I was like, oh no, this poor guy. And the poor guy actually kind of got upset, and he thought that I was like sending my viewers to harass him, which I wasn't doing. So I had to go to his YouTube page and make my own comment saying, this was an accident. He and I weren't collaborating. He's not copying me. This happens sometimes. We're both free to tell stories about this game. I don't own it. He doesn't own it. It's just a coincidence that this happened. And, thankfully that calmed things down a little bit. But I know that people are like that, right? And so even though I could have continued working on my video, I knew there would be people like that. So I decided not to. I'm going to wait a year. I'm going to wait a year for that topic to kind of exit out of people's minds, and then I'll publish my own video that I was planning to do on that particular topic. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if all of the Fallout YouTubers coordinated with each other so that things like that didn't happen? But we don't. We all just sort of do our own thing, which is also fine. Triad on Twitch says, my wife and I have been watching your WoW videos forever. We were almost in one with a bunch of hunters in Mulgore. Wow, that's taken me way back. Yeah, I did a lot of World of Warcraft videos back in the day. And if you were almost in one, then that was probably when I called for extras in the middle of Ordramar or Thunderbluff or something like that. That was a long time ago. Jonah on Facebook says, what would you like to see in the new Fallout? Anything done differently or previously? Well, I know that a lot of people really complained about the voiced protagonist in Fallout 4. They were so vocal about it that Bethesda quickly altered direction, which is why Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 won't have a voiced protagonist. I really liked the voiced protagonist. I liked the Mass Effect way that they kind of had the dialogue wheel and your character actually had a voice. So I'm gonna miss that. And I know that the new Fallout game isn't gonna have that, but if I could do things differently, I'd prefer to have a new Fallout game with a voiced protagonist. But that's just me. Ned Carlsberg, that's an interesting question. Ned Carlsberg says, do you think there's a vault in the Fallout universe that only houses Native Americans? We haven't really seen any Native Americans other than Charlie Whiteknife within the Fallout universe. You're right, we haven't. And that would be a perfect storytelling thing to kind of introduce Native American culture into the Fallout universe. Do I think there is a tribe? I mean, there's no way to know if there's a tribe that has been saved from the apocalypse by Vault-Tec somehow. But that's a lovely story idea, and I'd love for them to incorporate something like that into a future Fallout game. That was a good one. Jonah says, with AI, I wonder if they could implement that with character dialogue. Oh, I wouldn't like that. I mean, you're probably right. They probably could implement that, but it would suck. It would suck. I would hate it. If they like implemented an AI generated voiced protagonist, no. Hire a voice actor. Just give them the salary. It's worth it. Actors exist for a reason. They're better than AI. I hope that never happens. It probably will. I mean, there's going to be some AAA game that's going to come out, and maybe it's already happened, but you know there's going to be some AAA game that's going to come out with an AI generated voiced character, and it's going to suck so much. I'm not looking forward to that, and I hope it never happens in Fallout. Like it should never happen in Fallout. Never. All right, we got about 12 minutes until the gameplay starts. 12 minutes. Get in your questions or your thoughts. Jesus Christ. Okay, I get it. Says, hey, Oxhorn, I just wanted to thank you for your content. I've watched it all 4 years of high school, and as somebody with a very difficult learning disability, school was very difficult, and your videos brought me a lot of comfort in the moments of self-doubt and depression. I'm graduated now, and I just wanted to say thank you. You're welcome, my friend. I'm so grateful that my videos were able to help in some way. Thank you so much for coming by and letting me know. Ellie Rose Wilson says, what's your honest opinion of the Fallout series? Do you think it did the games justice? Also, your predictions for what Thaddeus is. My honest opinion on the Fallout series is that I don't think we could have expected a TV show about Fallout to have gotten Fallout any better, right? I don't think, like, everybody has their own fantasy script in mind, and even when taking a look at the script that ultimately got filmed, how they would have changed this and changed that, and I'm one of them. I've made video after video about things that the showrunners have done that I would never have done, and things that I wish that they would have done differently. But it's really easy to throw the baby out with the bathwater. so to speak. It's really easy to expect perfection, and unless you see perfection, you will not be satisfied. And I feel like there are a lot of people out there who are like that about everything. Unless this game is perfect, I'm going to hate on it and I'm going to give it a bad review. Unless this politician is perfect, I'm going to ignore all of the good that he or she has done and I'm never going to vote for him. Unless I see perfection in every aspect of my life, I'm going to be dissatisfied and disappointed and sit in my office at my computer and just rage at the world. There are so many people who do that, and it leads to just being miserable. And I think that we could do that towards the Fallout show, but realistically, could we have expected any better when so many game adaptations to TV shows have failed, have just been horrible, when so many movie adaptations of games have just been awful? To get a TV show like the Fallout series where they're trying, you can tell that they're trying. They've made creative choices I wouldn't have made. They've made some lore mistakes, but they're trying. And you can see the effort in their trying in how they bring the props from the Fallout universe into the world. The food items, the aid items, the guns, the devices and the peripherals, the references to other world building that has been done from the games. It could have been so easy for the showrunner to say, oh yeah, that Fallout thing, that's silly. Video game? Really? No, I like the idea of a post-apocalypse, but I'm going to tell a post-apocalyptic story in my own world, in my own way. I'm just going to use the Fallout name because, there's some established, people that want to watch a Fallout show, but I'm going to tell my own story. You know how many times that's been done? By people who have been so full of themselves that they've gone to adapt a book and then hated on the source material to such an extent that they just make their own thing. It even happens with games. It kind of is what happened with Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. I saw interviews with some of the developers for Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and they were blatantly obvious about it. They were like, yeah, we know that our game is very different from Fallout 1 and 2, and we liked Fallout 1 and 2, but I don't know, I just wanted to make something new. I like what they did, but I wanted to have my own voice. And I'm sitting here going, but that's not your role. You were hired to make a new Fallout game, which means respecting the lore that had been established by other creators before you. If you're going to make a Fallout game, you have to respect the lore other people have laid down. And he didn't do that, which is one of the reasons why Fallout Brotherhood of Steel was such a bomb. It was the worst rated Fallout game, to the point where everything that has come afterwards has completely ignored it, right? And there are so many television show authors and film producers who do the exact same thing with books and movies, so on and so forth. So at least we didn't get that. They tried. And that's my honest opinion on the Fallout TV show. All right, we got 7 minutes. 7 minutes until the gameplay. Devilers Human says that's what happened with the Witcher series. They had a perfect casting in Henry Cavill, and they had all the lore available, but the showrunners wanted to make their own story. Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. When you've got Henry Cavill, who is like the lore nerd of the Witcher series, coming to you and saying, look, Geralt would have never done this, but the world building says this. If you've got the guy playing your hero coming to you and saying you're making a misstep and that the fans are going to hate it, you listen. You listen. You don't do it just because you're the god in charge right now. And I feel like that's what happens so often in Hollywood, is they get a little bit of funding from a studio, they get the backing of an author, and they feel like they're a little demigod on earth, and they can do whatever they want, and they just push the lore around, and they push people around, and they make worse art because of it. The good artists are the ones who are humble enough to respect the art that came before them and honor the people who are in love with that world. I'm getting the impression that for all of their faults, the Fallout showrunners, they actually care about the fans, they actually care about the universe, and they're trying to do their best. That's what I feel. I could be wrong. I know there are lots of people who are very vocal in their hatred about the Fallout show. But when I watch it, as somebody who loves Fallout, I don't see that. I don't see all of the blatant, horrible storytelling that everybody says is there. There are some stories I would never have told. There are some stories that I think were poorly told, which I talked about in my review, but there's still so much that's good. And that's the whole throwing the baby out with the bathwater thing. Bathwater is gross and icky. That's why you got to get rid of it. But you don't want to throw away the good thing that was in the bath, the baby. And that's what they do. They forget that there are some nuggets of goodness there and they ignore it because it doesn't fit their narrative. They want to tell a narrative that everything about the Fallout show is awful. And so they ignore everything about it that's not awful. And that's not honest. It's not honest. If you're going to be an honest commentator about art or media or anything like that, you talk about the bad and you talk about the good. You talk about both. That's what I try to do. The Archer says, hopefully Oblivion doesn't drop the ball with this opportunity that is being given to them with the mass layoffs that they're doing right now. Yeah, it's so sad that something like this, Obsidian finally getting their hands on the Fallout IP again, has to come in the wake of so many people losing their jobs. And when there are mass layoffs, it's not because any of those people did anything wrong. It's because the people in charge didn't handle those people well, didn't manage their resources well. It's because the people in charge made bad bets. Nobody getting laid off right now deserves it. They all worked hard. It's the people who are laying off the employees who did work hard, who got their jobs wrong. And that's the thing that sucks most about it. The people who messed up their jobs get to keep their jobs. The people who did good jobs lose their jobs, and it sucks. I mean, yeah, there's a silver lining that we're going to get a new Fallout game. I just hate that it happens in the wake of people losing their jobs. That's never a good thing. Chris Hewitt says, Ox, can you recommend a sweeter tasting cigar? I'm not a big fan of sweeter tasting cigars. But I will say that if you're looking for a sweeter tasting cigar, go to a gas station. And I would never, ever recommend it under normal situations because gas station cigars are just the worst quality cigars you can get. But oftentimes, to make the taste of the cigar more palatable, they'll paint a sweetener paste on the wrapper that you put in your lips. Sometimes it's a sweetener that's derived from honey, sometimes it's from sugar or whatever, but they'll paint a clear sweetener that dries so that every time you put the cigar in your mouth, you taste a little sweetness. And some people really like that. I personally don't. But I do know that if that's what you're looking for, go to a gas station. They typically have a lot of those kind of cigars. Triad says that's what happened with the Rings of Power. The guy that became Gandalf was never meant to be Gandalf. He was one of the Blue Wizards, but Amazon demanded that they make him Gandalf. Oh my god, are you serious? No. See, this is why I didn't watch the Rings of Power. I haven't even watched the Hobbit movies. I watched the Lord of the Rings movies when they came out because, yeah, they skipped Tom Bombadil, but they tried. They tried. But I heard that the Hobbit movies were just awful and that they just added a whole bunch of crap that wasn't in the books. The thing is, like, Tolkien was just my first lore experience where I fell in love with the world and I fell in love with the universe and the lore and the world building that went on there. That it's like my nirvana. Like, I don't want that to be adulterated in any way. So I watched the movies when they came out and I really enjoyed the movies, and I haven't watched anything else. I haven't watched the Hobbit movies. I haven't played any of the games. I'm not watching the Rings of Power crap or anything like that because I read The Lord of the Rings, I read The Hobbit, I read The Silmarillion, I read The Children of Hurin, I read all of that, and I was in love with that, and I don't want that marred in any way. So I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Shale says The Hobbit was a short book, which they made it as long as the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. They had to add some stuff to get that length. Yeah, and they shouldn't have done that. They should have done what the author intended and made a children's movie. The Hobbit should have been a children's movie. It should have been a short 2-hour, movie going over the events of the book. Not saying, oh, well, we made a 3-movie trilogy epic. I guess we're going to have to turn a children's book into a 3-movie epic trilogy as well. No, why? Why not? Just do what Tolkien did. Turn The Hobbit into a children's movie. That's what he should have done. But now, never mind. I'm not going to go off right now. I'm already passionate about Fallout. I don't want to start talking about my love of Tolkien either. Is it time? Says LG Pickle Rick. It is time. All right, let me move the chat over here and pop open the game. Ox, you missed some super chats. Did I? I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find them. So Addictive says, hey Ox, much love. I was diagnosed with epilepsy and was in and out of hospitals many times. Your videos seriously kept me going when I was suffering most. Well, I'm so sorry to hear about your diagnosis, but I'm grateful that my videos were able to help in some way. Thanks for letting me know. Devilers Human says, what would your perfect Fallout game be if you could take anything from other games? I would take the storytelling DLC from New Vegas and the gunplay from Fallout 4. Yeah, I think that's fair. I can't pick and choose the different... Okay, well, I guess I would say I enjoy the world building and the environment. I enjoy the environmental storytelling of Fallout 3. I enjoy the world building of Fallout New Vegas. I enjoy the gunplay and settlement building in Fallout 4. I think the characters in New Vegas and in 4 are really good, particularly in New Vegas. So I'd mash them all together in some Fallout soup and create a new Fallout 5. Mobius Ouroboros says, what Fallout companions would you put on Mount Rushmore? Nick Valentine, Ulysses, Joshua Graham. Why is my mind going to all of the characters to New Vegas? Maybe because they're just so memorable. I guess that's what I would do. All right, let me put the chat over here and we'll get to the game. Please don't crash on me. All right. Now, as I said earlier, I've got plans in the morning, so I can't go too late tonight. But I'll try to get at least an hour in. We'll see. Play it by ear. I've been enjoying this game, but more than anything, I'm just grateful that I found a game that doesn't crash when I try to play it, because my computer is cursed. Okay, head to Curdsville Nut House. Head to Curdsville Nut House. I'm really curious about this janitor guy. He's always here. Sometimes he's upstairs, sometimes he's downstairs. But why is this janitor guy always in my flat? All right, Curdsville. All right. Well, anything else at the roadhouse? See what I get in the newspapers. No. Curdsville Nut House.
Fingers crossed this card actually works.
Unlock the rear gate. Find the celebrity.
Here we go. The creepy mile.
As opposed to the green mile. Pardon me. Sorry about that, everybody. Fall in. All right, who's throwing things at me? Submit. Ooh. Oh, okay. It's a puzzle. A 3-digit puzzle. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to find a clue, I think.
That's gotta lead somewhere, right?
IMG Snap says, Oxhorn, the game volume is too loud. Sorry about that, everybody. Hopefully that is going to be a bit better. See, the thing is, if I pass it now, will I be able to go back? I mean, it's only a 3-digit code. It would take me, what, 5 minutes to brute force it? I don't want to sit here for 5 minutes.
Gonna slip on my red shoes and let's dance.
Lower your weapon! Out I go! Free! Bob, don't move! This is the police! Freeze! Hey, you there!
Ah. How to get in that room? Can't get in any of those cells. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna come out there at some point. KT Beaverhausen says, I finally got around to playing the Cyberpunk 2077 DLC, and wow, Ox, you have to find some time to finish it. Last game to make me cry was Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, I really do need to find some time to finish it. I've heard nothing but good things. Ah. A piece of frantic correspondence, or a meltdown really, signed Von Harzer. So he mixes me some ink and discovers the perfect ratio for the unknown purpose. Big whoop! I heard Bender's name one more time, and I go pew bang! And somebody find me some speakers mit the poppers. Proposies, schneller!
Oh, for fondue's sake. Now we're talking.
Aha. Okay, so that just connected there. Ah. Diagnosis, broken wind, short-term admission. MD note, MD, mob doctor? Okay. Note, a top-shelf character actor, now just a washed-up bluehead. Extramarital affairs can be leaned on for leverage. Funny thing, every so often a turd shows up by his pillow. Must be the work of some crabby little ghost or something. Oh. I hope they explain that, because that's just weird and gross. A turd? Why a turd? That would really make my son laugh. All right. Oh. Oh, no.
Whoa. This decontamination sure smells.
Oh, great. I've been decontaminated.
Hey, Millie. Kid, is that you?
Great. Now I'm the nut in the nut house.
Millie?
Dance, dance, dance around. Jack is nowhere to be found.
Wow, girl. You can rhyme.
Daddy, you had too much time. Lay off cheese and bunny pills. Sharpen up your jumping skills.
What the? How the hell did she get there?
Oh, man. Well, this is going to take up the whole broadcast. Okay. Hold on. Great. Yeah.
Blasting away. Whacking from above.
How are you supposed to do that? Okay, try again. Yeah. Jack, got it.
Flying, flying, flying. Oh, going in. Gone. I got a lot into
this kind of parkour crap. Yeah. Panker Rat says, "Oh no! Old man gamer skills meets parkour section of the game." One. Great. Brilliant. Come and get me, you little flying jerks.
Stop it. I'm zoning in on you.
Where are ya? Where are ya? Little flying turd. Where'd you go? Gotcha. Okay, that's the way I'm supposed to go. So what's this? Okay, so that's what that is. Great. Ha! So that leads back to the decontamination chamber. And it was a trap. But that's why they put those there. All right.
Hey, wait!
Oh no.
Come here, flesh thing!
Talk to the
Did that brain just talk?
Well, somebody played Old World Blues before creating this game. Dear God. Hey. C-A-G-E, Cage. That'll be easy to remember. Cage. C-A-G-E.
I am here, flesh thing! Bow before me!
Hell, I will. You're a brain in a jar.
In 1,000 years, I shall command space fleets across countless galaxies! But first, I require more power! You can be of use, flesh thing!
Wait That you in there?
Is no corny, only soup.
No. Too old. So what do you actually want?
Fill me,
Ow!
That is just plain creepy.
fill me with ink. Empower me. Together we shall bring forth a new order.
Holy cheese, well, you got it. I gotta press on anyway, so,
Only this game will have a brain in a jar that stutters, that yells at you to fill him with ink. Jeez. Okay. Oh. Go to the ink well. Fine. What have we here? A special message. Okay, it's just a commercial. Sparkle!
whoa. Cool.
I see. We're filling him with ink. Get booty. Boot D. Hit F to use the boot D. Stun enemies, kick down doors, send barrels flying. Okay.
Fill me.
So, am I supposed to get them there?
Oh.
What?
Stop! Stop right now!
Well, I killed him on accident.
Don't move!
I killed him on accident. Doggone it.
Freeze! Freeze! Or don't!
Okay, that wouldn't work.
Hey!
Oh, I got to do them in order. Ah, I see.
My foot's starting to hurt.
Oh, don't tell me I got to do it again.
See, it's the police! Hey! You there! You there! Stop!
A kick of doom.
Stop it! This is the breach!
I don't even know what I just did. That's not something you run into every day.
No. Breaking the fourth wall a bit.
Bottoms up.
Return to your little overlord.
I am full. I am whole.
You really don't sound like it.
Ah! Whew. There we go. Much better. Phew. Sorry about all that.
All right, stop. How did you make that sound? You're literally just the brain.
Oh, dear fellow. The brain is everything. The seat of the soul. The engine of cognition. A humble 3 pounds of fat and water, seasoned with carbohydrates and just a pinch of salt.
Bro,
Now you sound like...
Like I'd enjoy a fine Chianti? Please. Now, come on. We've got some ruckus to raise.
Oh, great. A talking, burping gun. Exactly what my life was missing.
collect the conscious gun. This reminds me of the dog brains in a gun. We just high-fived the brain. What is this game?
Your weapon. Hey!
Oh, that's ammo. Die Spiegelhos. What? That's whatever, man. I don't know. I don't get it. That's ammo? Okay. Oh, cute. Super cute. Okay.
Millie?
Hello, Jackie, you old fart. Took your time, but you got smart.
Nah, it's just a gun brain and a...
Well, excuse me.
Oh, my lord, a talking gun. This'll be a load of fun.
Cut the rhymes, Millie. What are you even doing here?
Jackie, Jacko, you poor sod. Things round here are rather odd. Look around and smell the place. You wade through an unknown space.
What? There's a button there.
Interesting weapon. I don't know if I like it. So I slipped out, you know, to grab a crumb, maybe a grilled cheese, so one would see me. And then I met him.
Whack that gumshoe. All right. I'll teach you the hard way. I'm not fat, just strong.
Oh my god! I killed one! Where did the other one come from? Right. Oh my god. Now I'm back here?
Oh, there she is. Gotta move fast. This place is giving me the creeps.
Okay, but if that's the way I'm supposed to go, what's there? Oh, cage. Wait. No. What? Ah! Diagnosis, severe ego stroke, long-term admission. Mob doctor note, an example of what happens when a talented composer keeps hammering the same two notes ad nauseum and demanding recognition. Word is, his latest sound came from pulling a cork out of his wreck obscured by a cheese blob. Wife, 2 kids, and a habit of dodging taxes, either for the bus wheels or some last-minute laundering. C A G E. Secret. Secret found. Snap a glorious photo of Gloria. All right. Profile Gloria Swaledale. Diagnosis, snoozed and lost, discharged. Mob doctor note, another has-been with a blue habit. Dredged out of salty cheese city, chewed up and spat out by the industry. More of a party goer than a movie doer these days. Works for us. Those tinsel freak-offs pull a steady crowd. Standard play, first taste free, then bump the price every few weeks. She gets cute, send in some juniors, maybe even a regular.
There we go.
Bring the photo back to Tammy. Chief Keef says, I'm a gas, but I do not smell. I'm around you always, never ending. What am I? Love the videos, Ox. Good to see you around and kicking. How are you? I'm doing well. A gas that does not smell and it's around me always? What are you trying to say? I mean, oxygen. Oxygen doesn't have a smell. Okay. Secret found.
Where'd she go? Practice makes perfect. And I still hate it.
I do it right? I think I did it right. Well, that was the secret I found. Ah. Okay. Aha. I guess I'll keep trying it to figure out what the point of it is.
Okay. Maybe too much fondue, or I caught a bug. This can't be real. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Jack, I don't like this place. It feels wrong. Let's not stick around, okay?
Great, now my gun is talking to me. Okay, we've got down. Somehow we've got up. Ah.
Nothing personal, buddy.
Okay, how am I gonna get up there? How do I get up there? Am I missing something? Can't you glide? I mean, not without air beneath me. I need an air vent beneath me, pushing me up. Do I hang on the rope or something? That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe I gotta like climb on that rope. I feel like there's something over here that I'm missing. Boost jump? What do you mean boost jump? I can double jump. That's all I've got. I've got this one double jump. So I can try jumping halfway, and I can't boost jump. I mean, maybe. Yeah, see. So that unlocked that. That unlocked that. Alien Face says, hope you're doing well, Ox. How you liking the game so far? Stay amazing, Ox. I'm really enjoying it. There are moments like this that bother me and that I don't understand. What am I doing wrong, man? There's got to be something that I'm missing. Run, jump, and tailcopter. All right, I'll try it, but there's no wind beneath me. Usually the tailcopter only works when there's wind beneath me. Oh my god, it works. There you go. I did it. Okay, where does this one lead? Shortcut. All right. Baseball card. Now it's back to the beginning. Ah. Okay.
Millie!
No, you didn't catch a bug. Just inhaled some crazy drug. Hasten, Gumshoe, hit the clock, or you'll choke on your own talk.
That makes no sense. Wait, are you even real, Millie? Or...
Finally, a spark of life Now for the final fight.
Oh.
No more cheese fog in your brain. All their efforts were in vain.
You're not really here, are you?
No, Jack, I'm just your mind. You were drifting, deaf and blind. Now the curtains sure are gone, and the level's almost done.
Level what?
To the lift, Jack. You sure are dense sometimes.
Diagnosis, potty mouth, short-term admission. Mob doctor note, dime a dozen starlet, itching to scrape the manure off her shoes. Half her family's already paying protection, so she'll dance to any tune we play. Mid-career shift, from baby doll to blue cheese munchin' gossip with, let's just say, a less than stellar record in romance. Okay.
Oh, a lift. Well, what do you know? Fake Millie knew what she was talking about. Oh, did that actually happen, or am I finally losing it? No time to think. I gotta move. Holy moly. Gun, you seeing this? Gun, are you... Oh. Huh. I'm not tripping on cheese fumes no more. What the hell happened here? Oh, hell. Wait, was that a double jinx? Do those stack?
So does that mean my brain gun no longer talks to me? Oh. Oh.
All right, this is way above my pay grade. All right. This wasn't there before, right?
Whoa. What? Oh. Oh no.
Huh. I feel my micey sense tingling.
Oh no.
I didn't get better back in the nut house, did I?
Well, I'm not gonna do a leap of faith. I don't like it. I don't like it. It was just another bum you'd see on every corner, asking for change. But we got to talking. Turned out he came from Thicket. Used to be a lawyer once. Rich, respected. Then the mice came. He got out. But in Mouseburg, we were a nuisance at best. I felt for the guy, you know? I really did. Alright, so that path was a secret.
Huh. Someone actually living in this place.
Nothing personal. Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
What is that?
Got me blind. Yeah, oh, boy. Whack it.
Steve! Hey! Maybe it wasn't Steve after all.
Activate the train track. We're back here?
Power's out. I guess even in strange dimensions, you can't do jack without juice. So, what now?
Okay, I activated the train track. I don't want to touch it because it looks electrified. But I might have to. Right, up we go. Let's try that train track. It hurts. Okay. I guess I have to run and jump.
Power's out. I guess even in strange dimensions, you can't do jack without juice. So, what now?
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, of course, this is how it works.
Okay, so did that deactivate it? Oh, yeah.
Hop on, Jack. Oh, great, I'm talking to myself.
They're onto me. The party, the eggheads. But me, I've finally come to realize the world's bigger than little old me. Especially when a guy's got some personal crap to deal with.
What the hell? I'm in hell. Well, at least the view's nice.
Wait, it's hell.
Oh, even these little hellspawn are knocking back cheese. Real classy, fellas.
Oh, the Mouseburg Herald. It's in hell speak.
Blow that trumpet, you sweet, sweet angel of death.
Right.
Oh my. This one sure takes the cake. If they ever chop off my hand... It's hammer time.
All right, that was fun. Back to the guns. Okay, I blew it. Do I got to get down there now? Steamboat Willie. Okay, so that way, I guess. Oh, that way. Okay, it's pointing. They're all pointing that way. All right.
Steve! That you, buddy? Better watch it. Getting hammered in hell sounds like a headache.
Oh. Right. We made it through most of hell. Chase Steve.
Steve! Damn it, ran off again. Hey, that's my... Oh. Oh, no. No. That definitely was not my car.
Lower your
Gears of... what?
Man. Okay, where's nobody?
familiar. This is the future? Or just the future that'll never be?
Huh. What? Oh. Okay.
For a crazy house, this place is oddly organized and somehow full of gears.
It's your
What?
Stop it! I'm going down.
Where'd you go?
It's just... Now this is real hell. Steve! Steve, it's me, Jack!
Heart. The goal is to be unified. Heart equals heart. Spade equals spade. Diamond equals diamond. Club equals club. What? What? More riddles? Oh.
You ain't taking me alive, crook!
Damn, he's really lost his marbles.
Joker? Okay, so it somehow tells me which ones are gonna fall.
You ain't taking me alive, crook!
Damn, he's really lost his marbles.
Oh! Okay, survive control. All right.
Whoopsie! Yeah. Oof.
So this is the whole boss encounter? Probably not.
All right, I'm calm. I am calm now.
Great Gouda, that was annoying.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Hey, Jack.
Now we're best
Oh,
buds.
no, don't you hey Jack me. The hoops I had to jump through just to get to you.
To hell and back, right? Well, the back part's still up in the air. So, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, I don't know. Just saving your ungrateful ass that tried to kill me 5 minutes ago, by the way. I'm solving a missing magician case that somehow dumped me into a mess of angry mice, missing shrews, and mad scientists.
Yeah, I hear ya. But now you're here. It's time to move on.
Wait, move on? You mean like, go towards the light?
Heavens no. Move your tail out of here before something worse finds you.
I mean, I don't know. I made it this far.
Sure, but, Jack, I'm hiding here. You showing up kind of ruins the whole hideout part. You get me?
Ah, so the vaudeville drama wasn't just some flashy vanishing act. You were covering your tracks. Not bad. The cheese jug? Bit much though, don't you think?
Come on, you know me. I always had a thing for dramatic exits. And with the big mouse party and the mob on my tail, I didn't have a lot of options.
Yeah, somehow you never do.
Look, Jack, I tried going legit. I really sort of did. But then Betty, my beloved assistant, rest her soul, introduced me to Von Hartzer, old world professor, or the professor, if you prefer. Turns out, we had a shared interest. See, this place, the unknown, I've been chasing it ever since the war. Spent most of my fortune finding a way in. Even invited a cult to help. I can't get rid of the bastards now. Always came up short. Till I figured out what I was missing. Ink! The lifeblood of our world. Crazy stuff, powerful. Problem is, it doesn't come easy. And I needed a lot of it. So when the professor showed up with research of his own, I figured, why not team up, huh? I provide funds, resources, give him whatever he needs to finish the portal in my lab, but the ink, the most crucial ingredient.
Came from the shrews, huh? God damn, Steve. I always knew you were a cold bastard, but this...
No, you got it wrong. Okay, mostly wrong. I told him about the shortage, and he figured the shrews, they have the perfect ink ratio. Efficient, he called it. At first, I didn't think much of it, brought in the cultists to help gather it, but then I found out Von Hartzer was pressing the shrews, like literally squeezing them dry. I couldn't.
What, leave the life you built?
I tried, but I couldn't. But when some mass psycho starts circling and the big mouse party gets involved, well, they don't do friendly tea parties, let me tell you.
So you ran.
Only logical choice. Disappear where no one dares follow. Lay low till things blow over. But now, I'm not so sure it'll ever be over.
Well, it ain't, 'cause those eggheads are rebuilding the portal at the Kurtzville Nut House. I might have slowed them down a little, but...
The nut house? Son of a... I figured, but I hoped... Damn it. This is bad, Jack. You have to go back. Not that I don't enjoy your company, but someone's got to put a stop to this. You have to find Von Hartzer and... well, blow whatever floats his U-boot to smithereens. Promise me that.
You know, Steve, this is your mess, not your first either. But I was kind of planning on it anyway, so yeah, sure, fine, I'll do it.
Ah, see? Between you, me, and Cornelius, you're always the one with a functioning moral compass. Thanks, Jack.
Ah, you're sweet. You're gonna give me a toothache. Now what about you?
I'm gonna stay here for a while, maybe forever. Time doesn't tick by the same as in our reality. I'm surprised you aren't asking a million questions about this place.
Steve, we fought in the trenches. I gunned my way through mobsters, authoritarian cretins, mad scientists, and crooked cops. At this point, I don't got the energy to be surprised. All right, so where's the exit? You gonna wave your magic wand or what?
Ugh, sheesh. Just step through the mirror, Jack. Oh, and, it was nice to see you again. All things considered.
Considering schmonsidering.
Well, we got the confession. And he's gonna stay here, no consequences. Fine. We're old war buddies, so I guess I go through the mirror. Any loot? Any lore? Just candles and books. And why'd he try to kill me with the magic cards? We're supposed to be friends. Oh, money. I'll take the money. Thank you. Hurry up!
Seeing Steve again wasn't the clean break I wanted. 'Cause he was still dirty. Still a bastard. Still that cynical son of a... but he was my war buddy. And he wasn't dead. Part of me hated that I felt relief. Maybe he changed. Maybe he finally grew a conscience. Or maybe I'm the fool, growing yet another soft spot. Maybe. In the end, we're all just cogs in some rich man's machine, grinding away until we break. Woof. Wanda's gonna think I'm nuts, no matter how I slice it. May as well give her the whole scoop.
Okay, before we do that, Tammy? And we pin our clues.
Here you go, kiddo.
Oh, wow. A picture of a wall. It speaks straight to my soul. You really do get me, Dad, but not Dad.
What? That's the picture you wanted from the nut house. None other than Gloria Swaledale wrapped up in a straitjacket like a good provolone.
Jack, there's sweet F.A. here. You sure you know how a camera works?
Give me that. Huh. Must have gotten overexposed or something.
You sure you shouldn't check back in? Maybe clear out the cobwebs from that belfry of yours.
No, they said they were full.
You know what? That might be for the best. Seeing you post Nut House kinda killed my interest in crazy celebrities. Catch you later.
The hell was that all about?
All right. Now, we got 8. Boosts, increases damage, clip size, max ammo. Boosts stun duration and projectile speed, reduces recoil, channels a concentrated beam that deals massive damage on headshots, so I can turn it into a sniper rifle. Great. Let's do loose cannon. Okay. Steve said his piece, and I've got no reason to doubt him. He realized too late just how big a fondue stain he'd stepped into. Stupid? Sure, but not evil. The orders! There's that.
Interesting.
Now we talk to Wanda.
Jack,
Wanda?
you look like you just saw a ghost.
I did, sort of. I found him. Steve Bandel, alive and weird.
Oh, really? Do tell.
Nah, you'll never believe me.
Jack, I once printed your story about a rat burglar who swore a tiny mushroom alien on his head was steering him like a meat puppet. My tolerance for nonsense is limitless. So, where was Bandel holed up?
I don't know. I mean, really, I can't wrap my head around what I saw. It's beyond knowing. I still can't tell if it was the nut house fumes messing with me or just one of Steve's tricks. But yeah, I went through hell and back to get to him.
So what? He staged his own abduction? Why? What's the angle?
Well, look, Steve's always been about the money, but lately he's developed a little side hobby. French science, occult stuff. That got him tangled in a series of deeply questionable events, like, shrew trafficking, morbid science projects, the real epitome of ethics.
He didn't do it all on his own, right?
That's the kicker. He got involved with some old world eggheads, led by someone who goes by the, nom de guerre, Z Professor. I hear they got in cahoots through one Betty Lynch.
Wait, The dead actress?
Wasn't quite dead back then, and Steve, in all his wisdom, gave those brainiacs full access to his work. But when things took a sharp left turn to cartoonishly evil, he suddenly grew a conscience. But the moment he did, he painted a big fat target on his back. So he fled. And now everybody wants him dead, including the mob and whoever fuels this scientific circus. And he's not exactly chatty about the details.
Tell me you at least slapped some cuffs on him.
I don't think he's into that. Besides, he's different now. Not all for the better, but I don't think he's the bad guy here. More like a guy who got in way too deep and realized too late. And wherever he is now, he's only dangerous to himself.
Well, that's a bit of an anticlimactic ending to a promising case.
Yep. He begged me to burn this whole thing to the ground, to, blow whatever floats Z Professor's U-boot or something. Gave me nothing substantial, though, and damn, I do hate leaving cases dead in the water.
Wait. Water. U-boot. Old world. You know, there's been talk at the Herald about a strange submarine surfacing at the docks. I was gonna run a piece on it, but it deflated real soon. It's got old world markings. You think that...
Wanda, you beautiful genius. You never disappoint. I gotta hurry to the docks before Z Professor goes on sabbatical.
To the docks. But first...
Jack, good seeing you.
Some friendly advice, John. I'm not your grocery service, so if you're sending me on another mission to fetch whatever nightmare fuel you call food, think again.
No, Jack. Nothing weird this time, see? I hear seafood's the hot stuff on the streets lately, and I just so happen to have this antique recipe.
Uh-huh. Antique recipe? What's in it? Fresh turd bow or a handful of crap cakes, huh?
It's just a can of sea slugs, Jack. Relax.
Oh.
So, can I count on you?
No, you count on your own fingers, but I will keep an eye out.
What's crawled up his coat this time?
Nothing, Cornelius? All right. Kid? No. Well, that gives us more to look forward to next time. I'm going to call it a night now, as I have an early morning. But thanks, everybody, for joining me. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Thanks for all of your wonderful questions during the Q&A portion and for sticking around to watch me play this really fun and unique one-of-a-kind game. I'm going to get some sleep. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and I'll see you all again very soon with more lore videos and more live streams. Bye-bye now.